the 104th verse of Vivekachudamani, Shankaracharya says, Ahankaraha sa vigneyaha karta bhokta abhimanyayam satvadi guna yogena cha avasthatrayam ashnute. Whatever we do in our life, it is because of ego, ahankaraha. It's because of ego that we have the idea of karta, doership, and also bhokta, enjoyership. Shankaracharya, in his introduction to his commentary on Brahma Sutras, says that we have to get rid of these two feelings, these two ideas of kartritva, doership, and bhoktritva, enjoyership, if we have to get liberated. If we have to get free from this Janma Marana Chakra, constantly taking birth and death, then we have to get rid of these two ideas of kartritva and bhoktritva. Ahankara, because of the ego, we identify ourselves with the body and the mind, and we think that we are the doer and we are the enjoyer of whatever we do. So Shankaracharya says, Ahankaraha savigneyaha. Know that Ahankara is the cause which makes you abhimani, which makes you identify yourself with the body. I am means with the body. So we identify ourselves with the body, and so we have this ego, and we think that we are the doer and we are the enjoyer. And that comes because of Sattvadi Guna Yogena, because of three gunas or three factors of Prakriti. These gunas are Prakriti. Prakriti constitutes these gunas. So these gunas are Sattva Guna, Rajoguna, and Tamoguna. So these three gunas, they lead to the three states of consciousness: Jagrat, Swapna, and Sushupti. Waking, sleeping state, and also deep sleep state. Avasthatrayam ashnute. This is called Avasthatrayam. It assumes different states. The Trayam means three, a group of three, and Avastha means states. So it assumes Avasthatraya or three states. So when a person thinks oneself as body and mind, then the person gets identified with whatever the body or mind does, and for every action of the body, the person thinks that that action is being performed by me, and for every experience by the mind, the person thinks that the experience is being gained by me, and that causes suffering, or that causes happiness. And this is in conjunction or in combination with the gunas such as Sattva Guna, Tamo Guna, and Rajo Guna. Sattva Guna, Tamo Guna, and Rajo Guna, they are there. And when a person has got Rajo Guna, a predominance of Rajo Guna, then it is characterized by restlessness. And in that state, the state which conforms to that guna is waking state. So in waking state, people become active, and that is in conjunction with Rajoguna. And in Tamoguna, people become inactive, and that is in conjunction with the state of sushupti or deep sleep, where a person does not even have any idea of the mind or the body. There is only ignorance. So that state is formed by the guna of tamo guna, and in between there is this dream state, or the state where we sleep and we have dream, and that state is formed by sattva guna, or the guna where there is calmness, etc. That is why in the dream state we don't feel anything. We cannot feel what we are enjoying. At the same time, we cannot feel our misery also. So, though of course, if you see some supernatural things like ghost, or if you feel that somebody is going to kill you, you feel frightened and wake up in the middle of the night. But in general, you don't feel anything much, and the feeling is not intense as in the waking state, in the dream state. That is because of the predominance of sattva guna in that state. So the root cause of all these states of consciousness, waking, dreaming, and deep sleep, and also the root cause of the identification with the body, is that we have ignorance about our true nature, and that is why this happens. Then Shankaracharya says, Vishayanam anukulye sukhi dukhi viparyaye sukham dukkham cha tad dharmah sadanandasya na atmanah. So, what happens when you are identified with the body or the mind? Then, if you get something which is anukulye, if it is something which vishayanam, sense objects, we constantly come in touch with the sense objects. If something which we come in touch with, sense objects are objects which please our senses, or which cater to our sense organs, like sight, smell, taste, touch, etc. So if there is anything which is which conforms to, or which is favorable to anukulya, which is favorable to our sense organs. If we get some sweet smell from our nose, if our nose can have a sweet smell, or if our taste can have a sweet taste, our tongue can have a sweet taste or a favorable taste, then we feel happy. We feel happy. But if there is something which is viparyaye, which is not favorable, but which is unfavorable, which creates suffering. If we taste something and it is bitter, or it is caustic, it is pungent, we smell something and it is a foul smell. If such a thing happens, then what happens? We become miserable. We feel dukkha. We feel unhappy. And that unhappiness comes to us. Why? Because what we wanted was, or what we want is a happy experience through our sense organs. And when some sense objects give some misery to our sense organs, then we feel bad. Same thing can give you happiness or misery. So suppose somebody, when you are a child, somebody calls you with some name. Say somebody calls you Lallu, Pappu, something like that. So the child is happy that the elderly person has called me. But if a person who is of the age of 55 or 60 is called Lallu or Pappu in front of everybody, that person feels bad. That person feels miserable. Why? Because suddenly you have had this, over a period of time, you have this idea that you have to be respected, that you are a respectable person. So somebody calls you with this name, then that creates problem. So happiness and misery are created because of ego, because of the ego. Sukham dukkham cha tad dharma. Earlier it has been told that karta bhokta abhimanyayam, ahankara, that egoism is what identifies itself with the body. It is egoism that identifies itself with the body and becomes karta or bhokta, becomes the doer or the experiencer. The happiness and misery are characteristics of egoism and not of Sadanandasya na Atmanah, not of the ever blissful Atman. Atman is always having bliss, blissful. Atman is ever blissful. And so it does not have any happiness or misery. And this happiness or misery comes only because of egoism. Only because of egoism. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat.